Three, right? Oh, wow.
I had it. I had you
think
both.
that's tough. Like, I was diagnosed when I was 26, so.
Wow.
I had you both.
I don't know. I feel like that
K6
Good
sadly
bet,
folding
bro.
because he's been having a bit of a sad session.
Sort of life without
It is true.
I select that
Raise.
shit.
I got to
65.
I got to eat whatever I want. Wanted
Yeah.
for like
Stewart with the
60.
sailboats.
Cool.
That's true.
That's what Gabe Kaplan calls him.
Gabe Kaplan and a host of really old people.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jeremy's going to defend the Queen 7 suited.
Heads up.
The computer hand. That's what Gabe Kaplan
Well,
calls it.
It's offsuit is the computer hand. And pretty good flop for Jeremy.
Also for force.
Yep.
Reasonable flop.
There's the equity denial bet. Jeremy gets to decide to call or to raise. That is the question.
Definitely could go either way here. Repping a jack if you raise.
Yep. Or deuce deuce. Or jack deuce. Or jack jack.
All right, thanks.
There he is.
Well, I don't think we're going to get any action for Jeremy's flush here.
Yep.
Stewart does block the flush, but it's not significant.
It's not reasonable to bet again anyway. What are you beating? Right. Like a deuce that's going to fold.
Expect some value from Jeremy here and expect him not to get called.
Yeah. I fully expect Stewart to fold 2-4s.
Bet 200.
I would take another IPA, please. Anybody else want something?
You could beat like a ace-3 float
I'm
that
good for now.
with the backdoor straight draw, but it's not
The
much.
ace of diamonds with the 3, maybe.
Thank you.
Problem for Stewart is he's, besides the weird floats, he's just beating a deuce. Would Jeremy feel any need to even bet a deuce here? Jeremy might think the deuce is the best hand, very
Yeah,
reasonably.
I don't see Jeremy betting a deuce.
Stewart just looks like a sandwich of regret.
Understand the seriousness
A sandwich of regret.
Whereas
That's the other name for the meatball sub at Subway. Do not ask what meat means. It's in quotations.
That was really quite a little moment we had there together. That was collaborative for sure.
Look like she's like really
Nice collab.
Yeah.
Good. That's amazing. You have a pump?
no.
DM5.
Well, at least he's not limping him.
Never met a hand he didn't love.
We're
Mike.
gonna have to play this one.
He's got everybody's second favorite hand.
Mike does love to 3-bet.
I like 3-betting this hand, especially when DM5
Yep.
opens.
Me too. And gets to take it down for free.
DM5, Danny, Stewart. You could 3-bet any of them on the button with that hand.
Yep. But also you could call because especially DM5 and Danny are going to put a lot of money in post flop. If you hit anything,
Yeah.
you can make a lot of money post flop that way too. So both work.
There's no wrong answers with 10-9 of spades.
You could fold it.
That'd be a wrong answer.
You could go all in.
That would be a mistake.
Yep. So there you go. We found some.
Okay, if it were limit, it would be harder, and you weren't allowed to fold.
It would be very hard. Actually, no. At limit, they're a clear it's a clear mistake to call.
Oh, to call, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, fine.
So anything else you want to say?
if it were Dramaha,
Thank you.
it would be bad because you need 3 more cards than that. DM5 has 9s.
Fold.
K6 looks interested, but no, he's just interested in when is his time to fold. Danny loves the 6-4. Let's see if he plays it
It's
strong.
the Danny hand.
What's
Heads up.
the menu?
And
Well-
he flops a pair, but it's no good so far. But he always gets there by the river. He'll be fine. Diamond, maybe. You're running straight, or just the plain old 4. I'm not sure. One of those things.
All these things.
Call.
Here's the call.
Here comes the Queen of Diamonds. Oh, just the running straight draw. Okay. I see how he's going to get there now.
Got kind of interesting. Well, an 8
Yeah.
would be very bad for Danny.
Yes, it would. And it goes check, check. Hey, there's the Queen of Diamonds. I was almost right. DM5 could go for value here. It looks a lot like Danny has a 6 or a 7.
I really like going for value here as DM5 specifically. Yeah, you're going to get called by Danny.
He got
Danny likes the
snapped.
hero. DM5's image is one of a bluffmeister. It's a good time to go for value.
Not everybody goes for value there, but DM5 is good at that.
Yep.
Does she not want to pump because she doesn't want that thing attached?
He's a regular Mario Andretti navigating the post-flop lanes of the highway. The post-flop highway. The lanes of the post-flop highway. There it is.
Said it perfectly. No,
That's a
As the
brand new
kids-
creation.
as
No
the
one's ever
kids
said
like-
that in human history before.
as the kids like to say, I have no notes.
I like that. Did the kids say that?
It's a pretty commonly used phrase. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Stuart with a monster.
Raise 65. Fold.
Stuart just hopes some loosey-goosey dude 3-bets him.
Some loosey goosey guy eating a sandwich.
I can look on my
Here they
phone.
come, the loosey-goosey guys. Number
Loosey
one,
goosey 1 is gone. Loosey goosey 2 is here
but just calling.
with a lot of things. We have no idea. Jack 8. Okay, that's a reasonable one. Nothing for either player. Stuart does have
Backdoors.
back doors.
This is a relative orphan flop here.
Yeah, just equity denial bet seems fine. Get it over with. On to hopefully a more interesting hand, Jonathan.
Ooh. You're so critical of the players.
I know. I can't believe they played it like that.
That's pretty sweet.
I will notify
A
you.
regular Mario Andretti
Yeah.
navigating the lanes of the post-flop highway.
We
See,
gotta-
now it's smooth.
We got to implement some Nick Vertucci rules here. You have to raise 4 out of 5 flops that you enter, or you don't get invited.
Yeah, you
back.
don't get back. That's right. You have to be
It's just getting better.
cool and funny and draw viewers. I mean, it'd be great if people did that.
Yeah, they just haven't put the two things together yet.
Is it what-
You have to have one
I sort of get where they're coming from a little
soon
bit.
they're gonna put them all together. Fold, fold.
Except that Vertucci doesn't have to.
Yeah,
do
it is the problem, of
Yeah.
course. The rules are different for him, and thus it's an unfair game.
It lasts for 10 days.
Danny's got the digital Dan hand,
Raise
the 4 deuce.
90.
Yeah, if we make it that far.
Fold. Yeah.
If I'm flatting the ace-8,
He loves to play,
he really does.
and look how many chips he has. He's really been accumulating.
It's been going great. Well, Danny's outflopped him this time.
He does have the 8 of clubs. He could make a straight flush with that card if things go really well,
He also has the ace of spades.
which is, could be used as a blocker at some point.
Also,
Wait, you
it's just
have
the other card in his hand.
Yeah.
right now?
That's
See
right.
if Danny shows it. He loves showing the 4 deuce, but I guess he actually had something there, so.
Yeah, it's not even cool to win with hair.
Just a minute.
It's over pumping
Okay,
him.
did you get a good view? Yeah.
Not going to ask what Mike's doing. I'm just going to let it be in the universe.
It's clearly working out for me so far. It's a definite advantage.
You're 20, don't fold.
Thank you.
Don't raise either.
Singing.
Yeah.
Good to be young again.
Fold. At least once a session.
I'm gonna go
Raise
after the
60.
sixes.
At least once a session, what?
Okay, 6 with the...
Fold.
What's the name for 5s? I don't know if I know that one.
Humming.
Presto.
Yeah.
Or speed limit.
Yep.
There we go. I
Mi-
remember.
That's what Mike always said on the WPT.
Sexton?
Yeah,
Okay.
speed limit. But the kids call it Presto. Or at least the kids used to. They're now
Yeah,
old
call
people.
it, call it.
At the
They're
time,
They're now
they were
in old
kids.
folks' homes. Hey, there's
Presto!
that's a major presto. Look at these
This
hands.
is incredible.
All these hands like this
No,
flop.
no, keep
K6
it.
only with
Call my
580
raise.
back. He is surely getting at least a double up, if not a lot, if not a triple up here.
Or he's losing all his chips, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. There are actually many cards that will cause him to lose chips. He's only 50% equity with bottom set here.
And he
That's kind of
does
crazy.
just call, which is definitely going to bring in DM5. The question is if he's going to raise or call.
DM5 might have been coming along
If I didn't
anyway.
check, yeah, he would've called too.
Yeah.
Might have. I imagine a raise might have
I
gotten
know.
him out of there, though.
Unclear.
I was in your position too.
So you should
Lots
be
of bad
back.
cards here. That is
Yeah.
not one of them, although it looks a little
No, no,
scary.
Clearly your fault.
Check.
Clearly my fault that he didn't get stacked.
Let's see if Jeremy continues here.
Bro.
It's not a great card.
He does check. Obviously, K6 is going to light it up. He's got 505 back. There's 435 in the pot. I expect a big bet right now. There it is. DM5 with the pair and the open ender. It's more than pot, and he's got Jeremy behind him. Not a tremendous spot. Much better on the flop than it is now.
505.
A little over. Yeah.
An ace-10 is a possibility.
Tip.
You may not be too worried about Jeremy when Jeremy checks the turn, but do you even want to call here?
No, I don't want to call. I
Nope.
think Jeremy's going to, though.
I think Jeremy has to. He
Yeah.
does. He has some outs, but not that many.
He's got 4 outs.
Yeah.
That's the type of hand that K6 really wanted to see.
Yep, that is correct.
Ace King would have been scarier. Well, it's the same amount of outs, actually.
Yeah.
Equally scary.
And
K6 survives for once, and he's built his stack up over 1,000.
he's melted that baby all the way up
Right.
to 1.4K.
Reverse ice creamed it. That's
what the kids are saying now, right?
Yeah.
Reverse
Presto
ice
is a
cream.
thing of the past. Now it's all
Yeah.
about the reverse ice cream. Gluten-free, of course.
Gotta be gluten-free, that ice cream.
Yeah.
That's a big problem for people.
Yeah. Gen Z cares about their ice cream being gluten-free.
K6 still not doing great. DM5 the big winner, and Danny doing well as well.
Right?
Our two
You have better odds to catch your full house.
laggy players are doing the best.
They're lagging it up
Yep.
and swagging it up.
Laggy, of course,
Yeah.
a term for loose
Wagon.
aggressive.
Yeah, back in like 1994,
Yeah.
people used to talk like that.
Yep. That's why I gave the definition, Grant. Were you even alive in 1984?
Now people do it by
94.
by like colors, like what your style fits with. Like you're an autumn. Like Danny's
What
a,
season are you?
Danny's
as
a
player?
Danny's a spring.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Aldi with the best hand.
Never in the history of the game.
Korean Mike's the better though, because Aldi does not have the best hand. It never did.
At least you said that though.
At no point did Aldi have the best hand.
Well, good thing you said it though.
Oh, and Korean Mike continues to have the best hand.
I don't know if you can get called.
Let's
Oh,
find
I bet
out.
25. Yeah, he can probably get called.
25 into 95, yeah. It sort of sucks. You're like, what is he bluffing with? Maybe he's got an 8 also. I guess you could hope he has an 8 as well.
Yeah.
And you get to win with a better kicker.
There's a commission on
That would
that
be a
hand
joy.
for $10.
I would feel a celebration.
You would feel a celebration.
Can you not feel a celebration, Grant?
I guess it depends.
Think about it.
Hand, king six.
Like if somebody accidentally hits you with a Roman candle, is that feeling a
That's
celebration?
one way. There are many
Yeah.
ways.
Okay.
If people are just screaming and jumping up and down, you feel like the rocking of the earth a little bit, or
The rocking of
the
the earth.
bass in your body because of the dubstep.
Yeah.
Just that would
Hey,
be fun.
K6 has KK.
Hey. What if someone else has... Oh, I thought I was going to fold there the way he moved his hand. Which obviously he would never
Yeah,
do.
that was not going to happen.
No.
We had a couple of tables going.
There's your raise to 60. K6 with real chips now.
Must be disappointed to have the 2 on his left bow out there.
Well, as long as you get some action, it's fine, right?
He's got Aldi in there with a Queen 8 suited.
You don't want like 4 people against you or anything.
No,
So.
but you'd love to get 3-bet by Danny or DM5.
Yes, you would. Or Stuart. Or anybody, for that matter. Hey, this could be disaster.
K6's time in the sun could be short-lived. We'll see. That's 100. Aldi's going to call.
Yep.
Looked like a raise for a second.
Yeah, I thought it was 400 also.
There
And it comes in, but K6 probably won't lose too much. I doubt he's
Aldi
even going to bet this.
Has
Yeah.
it locked up.
And look at that. What a terrible run out for K6.
He's probably going to find a fold.
Well, let's see how Aldi sizes it.
30 to 40.
Never mind. He's definitely calling. Look at him.
Can't really beat anything that decides to bet this, right? That's the problem. But you do have kings, and
Yeah.
it's a cheap price at least.
It's fine.
Hey, you got the big triple up there just a
bet.
second ago.
So just let's remember that moment. At least you had that moment, K6.
Yeah, it's on video. It's preserved forever. You can just rewatch this. This is going to stay on YouTube well past all human history.
Past the heat death of the universe, in fact.
Yeah,
Data is
Mhm.
not of consequence to the heat death of the universe.
exactly. They've done papers on that.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Stephen
And
Hawking.
studies. They've done studies on it too. Or they've done heat deaths in micro universes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
seen what happened with the micro YouTube.
Yeah. It's important work.
Anyway,
Fold.
so looks like Danny's put on the blind raise.
Fold.
It's about time, huh?
I made a straight against the bases.
I mean, the last time these guys played, Danny put in, was it 320?
320. Put in 320 blind.
Blind, yeah. K6 with an actual hand.
Could definitely raise against the blind raise, but maybe you think Danny's never folding. Maybe let's just see
Yeah.
a flop.
Not so crazy. Also, Danny might just, whoa.
That's quite a flop for Danny.
And K6
Uh,
goes check, check. Danny's like, well, just in case.
He's going to bet 10. It's not going to work.
It's fucking all of it.
K6 pretty happy didn't raise.
Yep.
I should have checked one.
I don't think Danny was folding.
No
Yeah,
chance.
I might have a king or a queen on then.
To beat Danny for a day.
Just once.
Yeah.
I'd love to switch places with that guy. Smoke up some brisket.
You doing a 17 again with Danny?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
walk around a little bit, you know, be like, hey, and it was like, Danny. And I'm like, yeah, that's my name. You know, it'd be cool. Because I keep forgetting that I was Danny. Because I have me in there.
You'd be like, wow, people really like me more than I remember.
I didn't know people treat other people like this at all. So respectful and friendly.
70. Fold. Fold.
Danny found one of the hands he could fold in that spot.
I said they sound like real, like that's just this, and the sound of them hitting the back of the table, like
Oh yeah.
that's the sound. When you know,
Dense.
when you know you're on stream, and that's the sound.
Genuine.
It's a good sound.
The cards they use at the World Series are like 4x as thick as this.
Yeah.
So they hit hard. Fold. Fold.
Table's much higher too.
Yeah. And large.
I'll do with the ace 10, opening it up. Jeremy with eights. Could 3-bet, could call. Looks like the call.
One of the dealers, like late in the main.
Okay, 6 gonna
showed
take the old
me
3
a
deuce.
series
See a
of
flop.
memes that had been made.
Danny's
in,
not folding
like,
this
the
hand.
World Series
DM5
dealer,
is
like, Facebook
almost
group,
never
like,
folding. Oh, Danny is
the
folding.
way that Zhang
What?
like stacked his chips.
Did he fold the queen 10?
Yeah.
Just for a rate. He must have had to go somewhere or something. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
he's getting up. There's no way he normally folds
Very
that.
entertaining. This is one of the guys that dealt heads up.
And there's a 10 for Aldi.
Spades for K6.
And an open ender for DM5.
Was it the guy who did
All right, well,
No.
that's why we play the games, you know?
Like,
Right,
I don't know.
exactly.
Aldi's going to C-bet into the
Really
world.
50s, darker hair, taller, skinny.
Oh.
Deny some equity, but he's not going to get rid of K6 or DM5, I imagine.
Zhang, yeah.
Seems
He was a
impossible.
character.
You bet pretty big.
He was such a
Well,
character.
These guys
He's
do
also
not
just, like,
care.
really nice
And-
K6 down to 800 bucks here, so he's going to need to make that
Three
flush
players.
Yeah.
today.
It was just-
Today, yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Easy game. Now,
DM5
DM5 is a royal flush draw.
Yep. And the redraw.
He did take a long time to make the decision.
K6 first act, and he is
But,
not
like,
going to check it and let these guys check it through.
he
That's
was-
really smart. He should be
He was
protecting
doing
his
such
hand here.
ridiculous shit.
How
A
much did he
royal
bet?
flush draw and the redraw? Why'd you say and the redraw?
I don't know. Obviously, that's a redraw.
Yeah.
450, and DM5 just cannot let it go.
No, it's better to have the ace of spades, obviously.
Yes,
but
it definitely is. You could be drawing dead here.
Doing pretty good. Sorry, lady.
And all the, I don't know, all these just got
You're only
easy
drawing
fold.
dead against ace 9 of spades, exactly.
Heads up.
Okay, fine. Drawing almost
Yeah.
completely dead. You know, drawing a 1 out is not good.
5 or 6.
Oh, that might hurt.
Seven up.
That might be some value. And
K6 does move in, and
Because I thought he made it a day past playing with you. 'cause you
DM5 knows it's not good.
Better than a 4. And
Look at the price.
I-
Maybe it
I-
was.
so
Look
I
at
think
that
it
turn
was- I
card.
think it was 5. Jack spades.
340.
Nice hand, man. You deserve it.
he does pay it off.
I mean, he's getting 7 to 1.
Yep. Nice hand, man. You deserve it, he says. And the glow up continues. It's 2.2K now for K6. Good Lord.
Yeah.
In the battle of letter number names, K6 comes out ahead of DM5 this time.
Nice.
Thank you.
You find a fold there, getting 7 to 1?
I strongly consider it against certain players, and I think when K6 leads out on the turn and goes on the river,
Yeah, but math is so.
I might have found a fold on the turn.
The
On
math
it.
pulls
I actually
me.
find a fold on the turn.
Maybe the turn, but once you're there on the river,
Couldn't stop it.
the math, it pulls at me.
It does. I might, and we do block the spades at least. Of course, full houses are now a problem, but
Will we block that too?
yeah, that's true. I mean, it is the key card for from a blocking point of view.
The solver would not fold.
Right.
Giving
But the
getting 7 to
solver
1.
isn't playing against K6 in that spot, is it? It's
I
playing
don't
against
know.
itself.
Moist little dew on that one.
Or, whatever else we've inputted into it. Anyway, I'm normally the guy who's saying I call everything, and you're always saying, oh, you should fold there. And somehow we switched hats.
75.
I just feel like the price was so good.
That's what I say, though, every time.
But this time it's actually good. Usually it's like a normal price, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, all prices in poker are good. I'm
Yeah.
Jonathan. I like a good price.
That
And
was
Stuart
not quite.
going to put in the 3-bet with ace king.
It was only 3 spades, in fairness. It wasn't like 4.
Of
so
course.
that makes it a little bit better to call. Yeah, I'd probably find a call. Now that I say all that. Anyway, here we go. DM5 never folding king queen of diamonds.
Finally, the true Jonathan.
Let's just
comes
cut
out.
to the part where he puts the money in. He's never folding this. There
Yeah.
we go.
King high flop would be danger.
Yup. Just a jack and a 10 on the flop would be interesting too. There's a jack. Oh, where's the 10?
2 back doors for Stuart. 1 for DM5. And I guess it's 3 back doors for Stuart if you count the wheel.
I mean, do we have to do that?
The kids will get mad at me if I don't.
There's the fold. And we're back.
The 5 deuce.
I would say we're better than ever, but it's a clear lie.
I mean, 2007, the spring of 2007, that was a good time. We were good then.
Oh, man, even the late 90s. My heyday.
Back when you were in your 40s.
Crushing Mountain Dews and living life.
Yep.
Well, they're really giving this one a think.
Cool.
And a limp.
Fold. Fold.
Listening to Wonderwall and the Wallflowers and all of the different
Sure.
wall-related musical things.
Jacob Dylan was a astonishing lead singer. Incredible front
He
man.
only had one headlight that one time.
Fold.
Yeah.
Got a lot of 8s out there.
Yeah, that's true. Aldi is going to not fold. And we go 4 ways to this flop. And somehow 3 of them can't be 10 high. Clubs for DM5.
That's the only thing going on here.
Don't expect Stuart to fire at this one.
He's,
I am wrong.
He's going to take a shot because it's an unlikely flop to hit anybody.
He does have the king of clubs, which is pretty good, blocking the flush draws, which would be hands that would be continuing against him.
Fold.
Guess he thinks he is going to get a lot of folds. He's going to find out right now, though, that not everybody folds, buddy. And now Stuart, probably not very interested in most turns.
Well, he's got more than half the equity and now significantly more.
Yeah,
if
but
only he can find a way to hold on.
I do not expect to see him fire here.
DM5 we've seen sometimes with no showdown value, just check it down.
Yep.
So Stuart could win that way.
That's the way Stuart wins. If it goes check, check. Of course, certain rivers. This is assuming Stuart actually does check here. We're just believing he will. The flop bet does make more sense than I was sort of saying, I will say. But this check, if he bets here, I'd be really surprised. Yeah.
Me too. Hey, that makes it easy.
Hey, it's a king. And DM5 not trying.
Luckily for DM5 because it was not getting through.
Boy, I would be pretty interested in trying there. I got to tell you, if I was DM5, even though the king hits some of Stuart's range, of course.
I would too, but
But
you
it
know,
misses a lot of his range, and you're going to win against all those hands, aren't you?
Stuart trying to get called by a deuce or a pocket pair.
Yep.
Not happening. Maybe 4-5.
DM5 probably pretty happy he got to see the river for free.
I don't think you're happy after you lose a pot, no matter what. Sadness.
Look how happy he is right now. You can't tell because of the glasses. They're blocking his smiling eyes.
Right. It's in the eyes. Oh, there's a smile.
Oh, see?
He is happy.
See?
It's nice to see.
Expensive reduced. Jesus.
What's the monthly food spiff?
That's not bad. Oh,
You can't see if Jeremy's smiling or not. I can tell you, though, he's not.
Thanks for the insight.
The kids membership.
Yeah.
K6 is going to limp.
Well, he's induced to raise with pocket 8.
Yeah.
Out of position. So
It's a fair fight, as the kids say.
they do.
Not a card eights want to see out there.
Only one though, and DM5. No fear.
Just gonna deny some equity here.
This hand should be over right now. It is.
Makes sense.
Put 2 and 2 together. Little sleuthing.
DM5's right arm is sort of like one of those
Brian Bowman.
robot friends in the first Iron Man movie. You know, who's talking to him and stuff, and they're like helping him out and moving stuff around, but they're always like jointed and moving a lot. Like, cause he put so many bets out, he's always moving like almost robotically. Do you see it? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Good observation.
I like those robots. Those were fun.
I'm glad you did.
They were funny robots.
Add Stewart to the perma list.
Perma means nothing in and of itself.
Perma list.
Yeah, but
I don't want to sully
Raise
this
65.
fine YouTube cast with
Fold.
foulness. Okay.
fuck that. What is it? Perma what? I won't sleep till I know. That's not true. I don't know.
Are we banned from speaking to you? Is that what's happening?
You are on the don't talk to me till I talk to you first list.
Well, I'm on that list.
What's up? Check.
Aldi gonna get a little bit out of DM5 here, it looks like.
The more you know.
Although DM5 might be done with it
The more
now.
you know.
Oh, that's all it
See if he
takes.
turns a draw. He does not.
Don't worry, no cue to ring.
Not a card Aldi wanted to see.
Nope. But there are a lot of cards I didn't want to see. And
DM5 is gonna go for it.
Right, 50.
It's a kind of a rough card to go for it on.
only $50.
You'll never have to talk to him again.
Yeah.
That's a weird
Easy game. Yeah.
hand to bet for only 55. It looks like. And there's the king on the river.
Did you golf today?
Oh, he's gonna lead.
What a strange hand all around.
Yeah.
If DM5 raises now, I don't know what to say.
I mean, he blocks the straight, and he blocks.
Is he gonna consider calling because he has the nut no pair and the
Diamond's
diamond's
missed.
missed?
Towards hole.
No, he's gonna raise. It looks
I like a raise much more than a call here, and here it comes.
Is it gonna work? He's repping. What's the minimum he's repping here? Queen Jack.
I mean, he did bet the turn, right?
Yeah.
He can have king jack even very easily, or ace
Yeah,
jack.
he could. I'm just asking what the minimum is.
Oh. How much did Aldi actually bet? Oh, only 75. So, okay. So he absolutely trip jacks he can raise here.
What's happening here is he's just pouncing on sizing.
Yep. I mean, Aldi bet tiny with this hand. Against a guy like DM5, you have to know this kind of outcome is possible. Where he's going to raise you. He's going to get induced to raise. This hand is probably just too good to fold because of that sizing.
It's really a disappointing moment to watch him hold those chips like that when you're DM5. It really looks like he's going to put him in.
Wait. Oh, it looked like he was going to fold. You see, he put his,
Yeah.
I guess he was just going for the card, but it looked like he was about to push those cards forward. Well, at least DM5 put him to a decision, you know? When I'm bluffing, and if they call really quickly, I feel like I've failed.
Yeah.
There's
Oh, he
the
puts the
call.
chips in. That's a rough one.
I got a
Nice call.
Yeah, good job, Aldi.
That's playing the player.
Aldi like recognizes that he sort of created this situation and was able to follow through.
And DM5 is the type of guy who was going to pounce on
Yeah.
that sizing.
The worst thing in poker is when you create a situation and then don't follow through on it yourself, and you end up like making a bad fold
Yeah.
because you created it.
Nice pot for Aldi.
Yeah, that ended up being like that's as max of value as you should ever really get at a queen 9 off there, right?
Yeah, big time.
PTA and both take the club back.
3/4.
It's pretty wild, really.
Oh.
Well, it can't always work for DM5. Sometimes
Nope.
it feels like it always works for him, but that time it didn't.
Yeah, it does seem like it works a lot.
That's an interesting development.
Raise.
Back on the horse.
I was a 12.
We need an audit of.
You can look at
So how many strokes did you give him?
Give me my.
Mike with a very similar hand. To 3-bet or to call? Looks like a 3-bet's incoming.
Actually, an 11-1.
Both are fine.
Raise.
I lied.
But there's the 3-bet.
Fold.
Guess who's calling?
Wait, what is the
Danny.
handicap?
Nope.
It's like
Oh, okay.
1 over par.
Strokes over par
DM5.
DM5.
on average.
It's DM5.
Well,
okay, so then what's
50-50. Look at that.
that That's
You
because
they're
love
mostly
to
chopping.
see it. You
Mostly
love to
chopping.
see it. One spade. That's all we got for
That
these
helps
guys.
DM5 with just a little bit.
The best 8 rounds of your last coin.
Mike just checks it right back.
It's not.
Two
And
spades.
Here comes a bet from DM5, I assume.
If you're
275-ish.
Probably would have preferred a lower spade, but,
200.
you can only take the turns they give you.
Ace-5 of clubs is just got to go in the muck here.
Yep.
Nothing else to do.
Look at Mike really chew on this.
He's thinking about it. This is because it's DM5. He's wondering if he can get him off the hand, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm the only person who's ever seen.
Is he ever thinking ace high might just be good here, too?
That's part of it, I'm assuming. 9-10 and Jack-10 are out there.
Yeah, but
You mean at a golf ball or at somebody else?
They're
there's so
not
many
checking
better
it.
hands than that, especially when the queen comes, right? You hit that queen a fair amount as Mike. Especially Mike, who's been 3-betting a lot. He doesn't just have ace, queen, and queen, queen.
Yeah.
How much are you paying for that golf club membership?
Less than I should.
One buy-in?
Okay, but like
The
I
joining
have
fee or
no
the
even
monthly?
sense of like approximate here.
What's the monthly there, like 500 or something?
The base is like somewhere between 5 and 6, and then
Yeah.
they have a food and bev menu.
What is it, like 10 or 15 to join?
No, I think it's 15.
Raise 65.
There's the king-8 suited for Stewart.
Fold.
Gonna make it 65.
Fold. Fold.
Pretty standard.
Fold.
Yeah, the rest.
Danny will not be folding.
Danny will probably be raising.
You could call out of the
Yep.
third blind closing the action, but raising is obviously reasonable.
He did raise. You can see the chips are out there. Yeah.
Stewart lets it go.
Yeah.
What's that?
Danny probably imagines, and correctly, with his image and the amount of times he'll 3-bet with 6-4 and 4 deuce and stuff like that, ace king is just such a monster to.
Yeah.
People are going to react incorrectly against him
hmm
when he has hands this big. So he should probably be almost always 3-betting them.
I think so.
Thanks for laughing.
What did he ask? He asked how long first has been.
And I know this because when I was Danny for a day,
Right.
no one ever believed me. They loved me. They were super friendly, but no one ever believed me in poker.
Mm.
I never had it.
Right, of course, you're Danny.
I lost all the money.
The par 3 in the center, and it came and went.
It takes some time to learn how to play like Danny.
Yep.
No, there was. They had the state.
In the-
I will say both DM5 and Danny, though, are pretty adept post-flop for guys who
Oh,
give
yeah.
as much action as they do and
course.
play as wide ranges as they do. Most players who do that are as wildly spewy post-flop as they are pre, but these guys really are not. These guys are much more thoughtful about
I
it.
agree. I mean, most people who play pre-flop like these two guys are losing players.
Yes.
and these two guys are not losing players.
Correct. Correct.
But it came and went, right, Brian?
It's impressive.
I know
Yeah,
it was,
it's
I
a
know
real
2
skill set
times that it was
to
there
be able to
and not.
play this wide and make it.
It's the Mizrachi way. sort
Yeah.
of.
I think it's much tougher than playing like the Wonka way, for example.
Yeah.
Which is how I play too. I play the Wonka way. Not that anyone calls it that except for me just now. But you know what I mean? Like a more tight, reasonable ranges.
Yeah.
Which obviously not everyone's a winning player anyway, but like that's the easy way to be a winning player compared to what these guys are doing.
Mhm.
So
Where'd you buy your packet from?
much
I saw the
respect.
Grateful Dead there.
Call.
Oh, yeah?
Heads up.
That was a rough show.
Stewart's gonna look Aldi up with the 3-4 hearts.
4 high.
He called me with a 3 and a 4, honey.
And
Oh, and this is destined for a huge train wreck here.
I mean, the 9 of hearts, I guess, could be something.
yeah, the 4 of
that was a very
not hearts.
that might have been the one.
Just don't see how Stork can fold yet with that 1 heart on there too, right?
Seems
And the pair.
impossible. Impossible.
Look at all the 23 outs Stort supposedly has. Stort's winning right now, guys. What do you mean 23 outs?
He does a really fucking good job.
There's a heart.
Well, well, well. What happens now?
I think a check is what happens now.
Let's see if Aldi decides to check. He could really continue.
First show I went to was Bob
He
Dylan.
does check, and that's great for Stort.
That's not great for
Oopsie.
Aldi makes a straight.
Stort is going to know, though, that this is a bad card for him.
Yeah, it's bad in all of the ways.
Yeah, probably just check and not put any money in.
The nut low card for Stewart's hand, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Even though those shows weren't very good, Bob Dylan.
Easy fold here. Incoming.
Speed is, and
So cool to experience that.
Oh, but the
128.
The Stort wants to get cute and raise.
So is.
A call would just be lighting money on fire, Grant.
Yep. There was once a podcast by that name.
Really? Was it good?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It was good.
It was better back then. Though.
Howard Stern?
Camping
Yep.
everywhere.
And Joe Rogan, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. They collabed.
So yeah, we're going to the last 4 shows. The Gorge. There's 2 shows in the Gorge and 2 shows in San Francisco.
And there's camping there, right? They have camping
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
gorge.
Anybody see that?
Way inside. Yeah.
Just the reader.
Flash, but it was. I
I
don't
didn't
think
see it.
anybody was looking. I
I
didn't
didn't
see
see
it.
I was not looking.
Okay.
I'll work on
Looks like Aldi might play the King 9 suited under the gun.
I'll keep.
He played the 7-4 suited under the gun recently,
mean
so
all
He's going to bring this one for a raise, though.
Absolutely.
he raised the 7-4
Did he?
suited. Yeah, pretty sure.
He's limped some other stuff under the gun.
Yeah.
Raise 210.
Danny's gonna 3-bet.
Just immediately punish all the...
Fold.
and...
Price-
Look at all these shake his head.
it's a sad situation he's in here.
Actually, I wasn't paying attention. I wish I did. Ay. I fold.
I always think it's interesting when someone goes through all of that and says like, ay, and then calls anyway.
Yeah,
And they're not like trapping.
they're not
you know?
messing with you.
Yeah, they're just like actually going through all that
Actually, I did.
and still call.
I've seen it many times.
Yeah, I always think it's one of my favorite things in poker, actually.
And of course, you're not talking about on the river. You're talking about before the river.
Of course, yeah. Often pre-flop or on the flop. Where
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, how can I call that? I can't. And then they put out the call and they don't have a monster.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
You
thing.
didn't go to the one down in Mexico, did you? The beach one?
No, that would be pretty fun though.
I was trying to talk my wife into doing that. She wasn't going for it.
Is that all inclusive? Like
It was. They rented out a whole resort. It was just them and there was, you know.
Raise
Yeah, they're doing
65.
it again this year or next year.
Ooh, DM5 just calling with queens.
Whoa,
Yeah.
That should bring Stewart in.
it does.
Fold.
Oh, that's.
Aldi.
Oh, yeah,
will
Aldi's
definitely
coming.
come along as well. And he could put in a raise here, by the way. Not the worst idea ever.
He is closing the action with a hand that can flop really well, so
But
totally
the
fine to call.
yeah, sure, of course it is. But like the squeeze when it's a Danny open and just calls behind, very reasonable.
And queens are holding up so far.
Queens are in pretty good shape. Stuart's the only person who even connected with this board.
Danny with 2 back doors.
Anyway, everyone checks at DM5. Here we
Yes,
go.
Aldi also has 2 back
Bet,
doors.
150.
Okay, well, Stuart's going to call. We know this.
We know this. It is known.
I mean, I guess he could raise. He isn't folding.
Never seen Stewart raise in a situation like this before.
Well, the people behind him, it's at least you could consider it sometimes. But it seems like a very obvious call. of
Danny
course.
makes the overcall with the 2 back doors. He's going to try to turn the old queen of hearts.
He can't do it. But the jack of hearts is there.
And that's Stewart. That's all Stewart all day. He's got trip jacks now.
But Danny now has the other piece of equity. DM5 goes from first to worst.
DM5 is screwed.
Yeah, he's going to need to hit a queen. He doesn't, and it's just all Stuart now.
It's just Stewart for days.
Stuart knows he has the best hand unless something very weird happens, unless pocket 8 is there or 7-9 is there. I guess Jack 8 even sort of can't be there.
How do you play it against these two? Do you try to get them to bet, or do you just make a value bet?
I make the value bet myself. DM5 likes to call. Danny likes to call. Let's give him a chance.
DM5 is not going to like it when it gets to him. I know that.
Nope. But is he going to fold? Let's find out.
Let's see what the price is.
165.
Ooh, it's tiny.
Well, obviously he's getting called now. Is
You
Stuart trying to
gotta.
get? Is Stuart trying to induce?
Might be.
He's probably a bunch of things. Get called by worse hands that wouldn't call a normal bet and maybe induce also. There's no way he's folding if DM5 raises, right? DM5 wouldn't raise this hand, I don't think. But, I mean, could you ever raise for value as DM5 with queens? Maybe.
This could be 7-8 from Stewart. You could play 7-8 like this.
But is 7-8 even going to call if we raise? Like,
Maybe.
I like just a call here.
That's what DM5 does.
Yeah.
Stewart wins a pretty big pot there.
Maybe you're right. Maybe sometimes 7-8 does call if we're DM5 doing it,
Yeah.
right? Maybe. Stuart wouldn't like it even if he got raised with the Jack 9, but he's definitely
He's
calling.
definitely
when he makes it
calling.
165 and it's DM5. Like 1,000,000%.
That's more than is possible. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
definitely he's calling. More than
like that-
certainty.
Just like that time when Antonio Esfandiari was so sure that he had the 50K and they took it from him or whatever.
1,000,000%. 10,000,000%. Yeah. And then watching him apologize when he found it in his own bag. Can you imagine being like an intern on that show? How
Oh, yeah.
uncomfortable you would have been during that whole process?
Oh,
thinking
God.
like,
Did we
Someone's
just
gonna
lose
blame
50K?
Did I just lose 50K? Like, I'm gonna get blamed for this? Like, are they gonna charge me for this? Like, what happens? You know, I'm gonna get accused of theft. Like, oh man, that must have been horrible. That never happens though, except on Hustle Live Casino, Hustle Casino Live, whatever. Anyway, is Jeremy thinking about a 3-bet here?
It's definitely not thinking about folding.
Well, that's for sure. Makes the call. Stuart laughing.
Call, not the raise.
You'll never know.
Stuart thinking the same thing, and
Yeah.
Stuart flops a gut shot.
Yes, I will. That is clearly what just happened.
Stuart has a pretty good read on Jeremy's spot there. I think he's exactly right.
Don't think Jeremy can do anything here. I guess he has 2 overs and 2 back doors, but
Yeah.
it's kind of ugly.
He could call once for 70. I think that makes sense. They're deep enough. Now it sucks. And Stuart turns open-ended, so bad news for Jeremy. Stuart's probably continuing a lot here.
Check.
I like a bet. I know you're getting called a lot, but you have some fold equity, surely. And, you know, you build the pot for when you get there.
Probably going to size it up a bit. Let's take a look.
Oh.
He sized it up a lot.
He's trying to get a 9 to fold.
Yep.
Certainly a 7. Figure all 7s fold now, and 9s hate their life. Yep.
That'll get it done.
I like that sizing a lot. I didn't even expect that.
And he shows it to his good friend Jeremy.
Guess Jeremy should have rolled the raise, not the call there pre-flop.
I guess so.
Probably would have gotten the W. That was very interesting, that sizing by Stuart on the turn. That was cool.
Yeah. He was not tethered to pot size.
He was not. The guardrails were off.
So you had to look at your watch for something.
There were no checks and balances. The government collapsed.
What else do you think is going to give him the
Trying to see
clues?
what number it
Stuart
is.
won.
40.
So Stuart doesn't care about anarchy in the streets as long as he is victorious in that hand.
Of course.
Classic Stuart.
Oh, look at this.
Blind raise from Danny.
And DM5 has kings.
Is he just calling?
Yeah, we saw him just
Wow.
call with the queens, but that was a raise.
That was different.
That was a raise. He's trying to induce here.
This is not a live straddle by Danny, to be clear. They are now forced to see a flop 3 ways before Danny even gets to see what he has.
Well,
Danny
Danny
might
would've-
have raised. He
would've
would have
called.
raised. Well,
And look at that flop for Danny.
good deal for DM5, I guess, that he'd put no extra money in.
And look at that turn for Danny.
Well, DM5 isn't drawing dead.
He has
but-
1 out. 1 out.
Okay.
And he just
gets
lets
away
it
from
go.
it.
That's going to do it
Yeah,
for this
good.
episode of Poker Time.
Great
We will see
episode.
you back next week for some more action.
Sounds great.